All right, YouTube, today we have the Jordan 4 While You Were Sleeping, retail versus rep. Rep will be on the left, retail will be on the right. This time the boxes are the exact same size, so I'll bring the retail sticker a little closer for you to see, as well as the rep sticker. This time the stickers are very close. They almost look identical. So now the rep is on top, retail is on the bottom. And I really can't see much difference in those two, so it's really good. Rep left, retail right. All right, let's take a look at the back of the boxes. This is the back of the rep box. You see the Nike Air. There's a 12 written there in pen. Here is the back of the retail box. So that looks pretty similar. This time the boxes look really close, so not much to point out there. All right, these are the tops of the boxes. Rep is to the left, retail is to the right. You got the A Ma 10 logo. That looks close enough, so I won't belabor that. This time the retail box is a little bit more beat up. Then you have the Converse, Jordan, and Nike logo. We flip open the retail box. Let's flip open the rep box. So the only difference is that the retail pair comes with this cloth. The replicas does not. I'm sure some of them will come with kicks.ru. And there is a coupon code should you wish to use it. So on the retail pair, we will open them up like this, and there's paper, and the paper is underneath that little maroon cloth, and that is the retail pair of the Jordan 4 While You Were Sleeping. In the replica box, when we pull back the papers feel about the same, so not much to belabor about that. When we pull back that, these are in plastic. So let's actually, on the rep pair, the cloth is in there. It was in the bottom underneath the shoes once I pulled them out, so I could have packaged them right. This is the sticker on the rep pair versus the sticker on the retail pair. They got in the exact same location. One thing I did notice on the rep box, that has like a purple tint to it. That's a little brighter. This one seems like they could have a tint to it, but just in my lighting, I can't pick it up, so that might be a box difference. All right, the rep cloth is here, and this is the retail cloth on the box. The colors look the same. The only difference I can see is the stitching. It's a little wider on there than it is on the replica cloth. If you can see that, it's a little thinner. That's about all I see. The rep cloth feels a little softer, and the retail cloth feels a little rougher. All right, retail is to the right, rep is to the left, and at the initial glance, they've done a pretty good job on these. The nubuck here is a little more nappy than the nubuck here. At the end, I'll see if we can fix that with a suede brush. So that's one difference I see, but the colors look spot on in the lighting that I have. One difference I did notice was the stitching in the toe box, so I'll bring that a little closer for you. Harder to see, well, maybe not harder to see on camera. So this is the retail pair to your right. See how the stitching here looks versus the stitching here? It just looks like it's a different color thread. A little more shiny, a little more of a tan goldish tint to it, whereas this is a little more cream than that one is. This purple part right here, or maroon, it's shinier on the retail pair, and the replica pair is a little duller, but they do have the colors down good. The mesh netting and everything feels the same. Let me grab the same shoe. Mesh netting feels the same. Even this looks the same. I did notice that in person, the tag, this is rough. This is the retail one is smooth, and the color is a little bit off on that tag. That feels a little more rubbery, and this feels a little more like hard plastic. That's a slight difference. I also noticed that the replica tag was a different purple than seemed to be a different purple than the retail tag. Yeah, you can see that. So the retail tag is just a little darker. So if you got a tag that's light on the front, but then you'll know that the tag might be different. Other than that, these two pieces looked quite similar to me. Even in the inside, the stitching looks pretty similar. The rep pair, the stitching looks a little fatter, and it just isn't as cleanly put together here. It's a little, you know, blotchy, splotchy. Tongue is straight on the retail pair, whereas the rep pairs are a little more curved. So I don't know if all pairs come out the box like that, but the rep pair has the lacing out and the retail pair has the tongue straight with the lacing on the inside. All right, here's the side profile. I did want to mention that the retail pair came with white and cream laces. Retail will stay on the right, replica will stay on the left. So let's bring the cream laces up a little closer to the camera for you. Oh, I guess I should flip them the same way. So color-wise on the laces, they look the same. They might be wrapped slightly different. The color of the reps are just a little more yellow, and you can see the stitching on the rep lace here. It looks a little different than that, but that'd be hard to tell without two pairs. And then here is the white laces. Same looking deal there, but it could be because I have them in the box. So those are the laces that it comes with. Side profile looks pretty good. Looks like they've done a pretty good job with this one. Differences I notice is that there's less of the netting that shows and on this lace strap here, and more of the netting shows on the rep. Also the shape here, it's not exactly like this shape. It's pretty close, but this one on the retail pair is more defined. And also from this angle, the nubuck actually looks darker on the retail pair than it is on the rep pair. So that might be a thing. You might need to get your rep pair a little dirtier. So let me pull this a little closer for you so you can take a look at the retail pair. There you are, close up of the retail pair on that outer side. And I'll set it like that so we can look at the Nikes next. And let me pull this replica pair a little closer for you. Now I gotta move the retail pair so it fits. So here is the replica pair. And so let's take a look at the backs of the shoes. So looking at the backs of the shoes on the replica pair, the Nike is tighter. So see how you see more space on the Nike on the retail pair? It's a lot tighter on the replica pair, and the letters are not as cleanly cut. I'll try to pull that closer so you can see it. The letters on the replica pair are a little fatter on air than they are on the retail pair. And then if you look at the spacing of both of the shoes, so again, rep to the left, retail to the right. So there's more spacing here than there is here, but the shoe is about the same height. And that could vary on our retail models. Other than that, the backs of them look pretty similar. This has a little more shine to it. This is a little more of like a flat eggshell on it. And then these feel the same. Inside the tongues, they both have the Air Jordan on there. So those look about the same. Both feel kind of rough, and people have been saying these are noisy shoes overall. Let's look at the insides of them. So let me flip them like that so you can see the insides of them. So that is the inside of one, but not the inside of the other. Now we have the insides of both of them. So on this side, same deal. You see a little bit less of the mesh than you see on the replica one. So the replica one just shows a little bit more mesh there. And then you can see that the cut here where the mesh is just a little bit different. And you know, the same thing with how the nubuck here looks. It looks a little different. So there's that. It looks like they've got the number of towers you see in the air pocket right. So you see 2 in there and 2 in there. But the space between the towers on the rep looked a little bit more defined. Let's take a look at the soles. Let's turn it where you can read Nike. So there are the soles for you. From what I can tell, the soles look really similar in shape and cut and spacing for the most part. This does look wider than the gap here, so I'll stack them up so you can maybe see what I'm saying, or I can tell if I'm looking at that wrong or right. The rep shoe kind of seems like it might be bigger than the retail shoe. I'm gonna double check, but the spacing here is wider than the spacing there. This part looks about the same. Other than that, the soles look quite similar. Not much difference on the right shoe, but I do want to show you my retail pair. It has some scuffs that you can barely see in person when the lights aren't on it. It shows a lot more, but I did notice this part right here looks more sleek on the retail pair than it does on the rep. So the rep is over top. That just looks a little thicker to me. So that could be an indication as well, only slightly. And then I will pull all the insoles and stuff out of them so we can take a look. Maybe we'll take a look at the Jordans on these, since that's the one part, the Jordans on the tongue differs between the two pairs. So again, color here on the rep to the left is darker than it is on the retail. Same feeling, this is more rubbery than this is more plasticky. And so the color is a little darker, which the lighting may make it harder for you to tell. And you can see that the Jordan's a little different. He's a little skinnier on the rep pair and a little fatter on the retail pair. All right, I pulled the insoles out. We still have retail to the right, replica to the left. So the retail paper versus the rep paper, they're about rolled the same. Don't see a whole lot of differences in paper, maybe slight difference in paper color. So that probably won't help you out too much. So I'll move the paper. Here are the insoles. So we'll have the retail, we'll put it on top, replica on the bottom. That design looks the same, colors look the same. However, when you flip it over on the back, there are differences. AJ11, QF8H, MS. So mine says 115D, this one says 12. So on the rep pair, I think they're just using the size 12 and labeling it as an 11.5. And then it has that 115 there for the sizing again. Outside of that, they feel the same. Both insoles have the same stuff on the back for the most part. This right insole does have some extra information and serial numbers on it. And then the insides look and feel the same on those. I did measure them. The rep shoe is slightly bigger than the retail shoe. Maybe they just use the same one that's for a size 12. So still we have the retail on the left. If you look in the inside, let me move that lace for you. This is the inside of the retail pair. If you look in the inside, it does say while you were sleeping. You see the tape. It has a tag in there, which I'm gonna have to squeeze these shoes to show you the tags. And you hear it making that noise. People complain that these squeak a lot. Inside the replica pair, it says while you were sleeping. It does look like it's a much darker font, and they've tried to even do the tape the same, but it's a little wider tape on the retail pair. Both shoes actually do say that while you were sleeping, as do both of those, but with a darker font. So if you have really dark writing, that could be an indicator that you have a rep pair. This is the retail tag for you. This factory code is LN3. This is the replica tag for you, same factory code, which looks pretty good. All right, let's blacklight these pairs and see if we can find any differences. All right, retail to the right. Let me throw this tag in there and maybe lift the tongue up for you. Should have thought to do that before I started the video. So, all right, that is your retail pair to the right. The under the netting seems to glow white. You can see the glue stains. Air pocket seems to glow. The material looks purplish here. I can see on camera it reflects the red. So you see how on camera it reflects the red. It doesn't look like that in person to me, but I can see that on the camera. The replica pair doesn't reflect the same red, so you can tell it's not the same material. And let's see, it does seem to glow in a similar fashion also. One thing that is different right here, in the inside of the retail pair, it looks very red when the black light hits it and glows down in the inside. The replica pair, it doesn't look red. It's like, you know, it glows similarly in the inside, but it's not red. So if you put the black light on your inside and it just looks like that and not like that, then you know you have a rep pair. So the laces also stay purple on the rep pair. On the retail pair, one of the laces turns light and the other one does not. So that is interesting. Another interesting detail on those. Let's see what the laces in the box do. The cream laces turn purplish. The white laces glow bright white. On the retail pair, or on the rep pair, I mean, retail laces white. So those stay the same. Don't see any markings on the box. Let me situate this camera again and we'll take a look at the soles to see if there's any difference on the soles. So that is the retail sole. Nothing really significant seems to be popping up there. And there is the rep sole. So the soles are the same. So it looks like you can use the inside of your shoe with the black light to tell, and you'll have one lace that just turns this yellow color under the black light. So I'll turn it towards you so you can see it better. Not really sure why, but that's a pretty neat trick. It almost looks like I've lace swapped it. So there you have it. All right, I put my foot in the rep shoe and the retail shoe, and I can confirm that the rep shoe does fit a little bigger, which supports the theory that it's probably a size 12, so maybe it would track better compared to a size 12 as well. I did brush the suede with a suede brush, or you know, nubuck, whatever, and it did get a little more nappy look to it to match that slightly better, although the color is still a little off. So that's retail versus rep. You can use that to check your pair. Depending on where your pair comes from, there may be different consistencies and inconsistencies. I forgot to double check and see if I don't think the stitching on the front of the toe did anything different under the black light at all. But I hope this guide helps you out a little bit.